In this episode, Derek wears gloves, Michael should have been a cowboy, and we have some big wood. Welcome to episode 49 of the We Are Auto Show. How are you, Derek?
I'm doing fantastic. I believe that you just got back from a trip. I just got back from, you could call it a trip. It was a race. But let's start off with your trip. How was your trip?
My trip was fantastic. I was in Montana, which is now my new greatest love. I've fallen deeply, madly in love with Montana because there's no Teslas in sight.
Now, do you just fall in love with the places you go? Because you've been to Tennessee. You've been to Colorado.
I didn't fall in love with Colorado.
You're going to Montana this time. Do you just fall in love with where you go?
I like places that are less populated. According to the article that we had talked about last week about the best and worst states to own and drive a car, I may have been bought by farmers too.
That's a good throwback.
Yeah, so my trip was awesome. Funny enough, on the way back on our flight out of Bozeman to Hotlanta, I was wandering around the Bozeman airport, which is just incredible views out of every window, just mountains everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was wandering around, and I wandered past this little coffee shop, and there was a dude sitting there with his headphones on, and he had a McFarland Racing sweatshirt on. I was like, wait, hey, you, that's home. You're Cleetus. Yes, you know Cleetus, or you support Cleetus, or whatever.
Yep.
And it got me that, like, oh, that's kind of cool. Didn't expect to see a McFarland Racing sweater in 2,000 plus miles away from home, Montana.
There are certain things that you'll see when you're out there. If you see like a track map on the back of a car, or you see like an IMSA sticker,
Yep.
or like a McFarland Racing shirt,
Or like an I Am the Stig plate frame or something like that.
yeah, if I see an iRacing jacket or something, or a hat, I'm like, oh, I know they're probably pretty cool people.
Yeah, you get the tip of the cap to them, just
Right.
I know you know what's up.
Immediate respect.
Oh, 100%. Big respect. And I kind of walked by, and we both had the little head nod respect, like, what's up?
That's always awesome. Actually, while I was at my event, the Rolex 24, I also saw a couple different people with McFarland hats, sunglasses, all that stuff. But that was probably more of a fitting place for them to be.
Yeah, I was not expecting to see a McFarland Racing sweater in Bozeman, Montana.
That's pretty far away, but also awesome.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. So, shall we get into some news?
Let's kick it off.
All right. So, some good news. Last year, Mercedes had scheduled their V8s for assassination. Remember when we talked about that?
Mm-hmm.
So some good news is that they are reinstating some, quote-unquote, V8s for 2022.
Some V8s.
Yes.
Oh.
So, got some good news and got some bad news for you. What would you like first?
The good news.
Okay, the good news is that the orders are open again for some of the Mercedes models that use the big 4-liter twin-turbo V8, such as the G-Wagon, the GLS 580, GLE 580, the Maybach GLS 600, and the AMG GLE 63. So a lot of the big boys, the SUVs, right?
The big engine SUVs. Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
So now would you like some bad news?
I guess I'm getting it.
They have not stated whether they are bringing it back for the E63 AMG and the GLS 63 and the S-Class.
Which are the ones we wanted to see it on.
Yeah. And the C.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do we know why they're coming back with these engines? Is it supply problems? Is it trying to push back the EV of the future? That's kind of my guess.
You know, I'm not 100% sure. I'm trying to look and see. So could not provide details regarding availability of the E63. So there's a little blurb in this article that it's assuming that the easing of supply chain issues is the main reason that these are returning. So this article is stating that it's based upon supply chain issues being less issues and more just kind of efficiencies. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. I think it's definitely part of that, but I think it's also just Mercedes taking the pill of death and going EV.
Yeah, but also it sounds like they're kind of like it's becoming too slow for them.
Yeah, I think
right.
I think kind of what
they're
it is.
They're rolling back.
Yeah, it's like I think they like pushed all EV and they're like, oh shit, do over. We're not ready for this yet.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know. It just feels flippy floppy, wishy washy.
This reminds me of software development where you like create a new feature and you work on it really, really hard, and then you roll it out and it's terrible and it breaks everything and you have to roll it back, and they're doing the current rollback. Like, we need to go backward a little bit.
I think you're right. I think it's definitely they jumped the gun and they thought they were ready, and then I think this is like upper management was like, yes, we will release the EVs, and everyone was all gung ho, and then the engineers are like, whoa, hold up, pause, time out, dude, we're like 10 years from that. You got to stop that.
Yeah,
that sounds like what that is.
Sounds like great news for you.
Oh, I'm stoked that you can still get a V8 G-Wagon, but here's my theory and hypothesis. That means that all the people that paid the astronomical markup for a current 2021 G63 may have just gotten shafted.
They definitely did.
Because everyone was buying these G63s of this current model year as, this is the last year you can get a V8 G63. Oh my God. And now apparently you can get a G63 again, or at least a G-Wagon in general with a V8.
Over a long enough period of time, it will still hold its value. No problem.
Yes, but immediate return on investment is probably not going to be quite as much there.
No, certainly not. No. But when you're spending that kind of money, it's going to be okay.
In theory, yes.
So, shall we move on?
Yes, we have a massive amount of racing news to talk about this week.
We do. So I'm going to kick it off with a sporting facility. Okay?
A sporting facility, you say?
Yes.
Oh,
have you ever heard of the LA Coliseum? I'll show you a picture of it now if you're watching on YouTube.
Isn't that where there's like college football or something that goes on there?
They play college football. They did the Olympics one point.
It's like a big field.
It is. It's a big sporting facility.
Yes. What does that have anything to do with cars?
What if they did NASCAR there?
Please, dear God, no.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh my God. Why?
They're going to have, this weekend, they're going to have a NASCAR race at the LA Coliseum.
Why?
Take a look at this photo.
Oh my God. This is going to be just mass pandemonium.
This is an extremely short track. Way shorter than Martinsville.
That's like a quarter-mile track.
Shorter than Bristol.
Maybe.
I think it's like 30% of a mile. I think it's like...
So a third of a mile.
Yeah, it's like a third of a mile. It's like 0.32 of a mile.
And it's flat.
It's flat.
There's no banking.
There's no banking, and it only turns. There's really not a straightaway.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at this picture. Even the straightaways are bending.
They are. So, this is coming to NASCAR. Not only that, but this is not a points race. This is before the Daytona 500. And this is the first time they've ever raced their new car.
This is a recipe for disaster.
Or hilarious entertainment.
Oh, it's going to be
one of the
entertaining.
other.
It's going to be the most ridiculous thing. They're going to need higher fences than that, I think.
I suspect a ton of crashes, though.
I suspect it doesn't even see a checkered flag.
They're just racing forever.
I think it just, the whole thing, it just dies.
One green, white checkered after the next for 5 days straight.
Or it's just so many crashes that it just ends. There's no cars left in the race.
It could be that. So iRacing actually did map this, and they brought it out on iRacing, and people have been running it over this like past week, and it has been exactly what we expected.
And have people been going, what is this travesty?
Calamity. It's terrible. There are rumble strips on the inside of the corner that they added because they don't want people to cut the corner as much. Like on the very inside of each one of those corners. The way you run the track is like really weird. You have to go in like, I don't know how to explain it. You just have to be really touchy on the brakes going into the corner. You have to over brake the corner and then like slide the car out and power out. I
do notice that there are 3 lanes here.
There are 3 lanes. It's something like 60 feet wide. Like it's wide.
Do you think people will actually try to go 3 wide through here?
You can go 3 or 4 wide. Can you make it through one of the corners 3 or 4 wide? No way. Not without having an accident. Also, look at where pit road is.
I just noticed that. What the?
I don't know.
How long is the race going to be? Do you know?
I also don't know that. I don't think it could be more than, well, if it's a short track.
Minutes. It's got to be 30 minutes of a race or something.
No. It's going to be a NASCAR race. It's going to be a 2.5 to 3 hour event for sure.
Where are you going to put the people?
I don't
Where are you
know.
going to put all the supporting people? What?
So for those listening, very small track. Pit road is in the middle of it, which is reasonable, but it's not like along. Like
No,
normally at
they're-
Daytona, you have like the pit road along the inside wall.
They're just simply parallel parking spots stacked on top of each other.
They are, and the weird part is they're backed up like back to back to each other. So it's 2 levels deep.
It's 2 lanes.
Yes,
What the?
and I don't understand how the cars are going to get either in there. I see cutouts
It's
got
got
to
to be
wall.
such a. I think they're gonna have to go in one side and out the other. Like this is gonna have to be such a short race that you are not refueling, and you're not taking tires.
So I also don't understand why they're doing this as not a points race. Like this is an exhibition event only.
I literally don't even understand this entire event. Period. Plain and simple.
It's PR. It's only PR. NASCAR needs more PR. They're actually very good at
So
PR.
is California, frankly.
Yes, we know California needs more money. That's to be expected. But if this is a PR stunt, they did a good job by picking a venue that is very historic. Right? It's held the Olympics. It's done college football bowl games.
It's something.
Yeah. But what will it turn out to be racing wise, which is kind of like what we care about? I suspect not good.
I suspect this is going to be a complete and utter shit show.
Yeah. But I'm going to watch it because I'm really curious.
Yeah, it's one of those like I think it's going to be like a train wreck. You just can't look away.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so bad that you have to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the puppy dog that's so ugly it's cute.
Now, if you were a team owner, would you go to this? Would you send your cars to this?
No,
Why not?
it's just a recipe for disaster.
But you get to test the new car.
Oh, this is with the new car.
This is with the new car, which is even worse.
Oh my god. Then I definitely wouldn't go because we already know the new car's made out of carbon Kevlar, which means you're going to destroy your car within about 18 seconds of the green flag going.
Agreed, but you could practice stuff like the pit stops with your one new lug nut as opposed to 5 or 10 or whatever they had.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Sure.
We know NASCAR is big money.
Yep.
Okay. Then why the hell don't they rent out Bubba's track in North Carolina for a test day instead?
They have. They've been at North Carolina. They've been at Atlanta. They've been practicing at Daytona. They've been everywhere.
Yeah, but why would you use this as a test?
Press.
But is it really going to be that good press when your car's upside down on fire?
I mean, that gets the Instagram views, doesn't it?
I suppose you're right. Yeah. I suppose. You know, you do have me there.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting.
It's going to be bad racing, but it's going to be chaos, which is kind of what I think they want in an exhibition event. So I'm kind of really interested in watching it.
I mean, what's funny is like if you think about like preseason hockey or football or something like that, you're not putting your star on the field because you don't want them to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
They're just risking everything for nothing.
They're risking the car, but when you're at the point of NASCAR, if you're a normal sized NASCAR team, the car can be rebuilt.
True. I wonder.
If you're a small NASCAR team, I'd be hesitant to go.
I wonder how fast these cars will get on this track.
Not fast.
60?
It is like
80?
80, 90 maybe. I think they stay in second or third gear.
Oh, that'll be a blast as a driver, I'm sure.
Yeah.
As a driver, you're probably like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever done.
If I recall in iRacing, people were in second gear.
Why?
In the Cup cars.
Why? This is just...
No idea. And they were getting to... They almost needed to shift in second gear. But the professionals will sort out the gearing. They'll figure that out.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be super
I just wonder, like, will people get hurt here because it's how ridiculous this is?
I don't think so, because I don't think you're going fast enough to get into a big accident.
That's my question, is you're not doing 180.
No.
You're doing nothing.
I don't understand.
Casually driving around a track, I suppose.
Hopefully they farm the content, because this is an exhibition event. It's supposed to be for the fans.
This is literally just going to be for content.
Yes. Yes.
Anything for the content, for the gram.
That's it. That's all that matters.
I suppose. So in that case, should we get away from the weird, strange NASCAR race that's happening this weekend?
We should. And we should move on to something we're very familiar with.
Yes. So we talked about my trip to lovely Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Now I need to go buy a cowboy hat. How about your trip?
My trip was amazing. My trip was
a bit jealous of your trip.
to the Rolex 24
I had
at
a blast
Daytona.
at mine, but I'm a little bit jealous that you had the Rolex with all the drama that happened that we will get into.
There was some drama that happened. So I'm going to throw up a little slideshow of some pictures that I took. And let's chat about the Rolex, because the Rolex started out as it was a cold event.
So if you had to describe it with one word, what's the word?
Cold.
Yeah.
Going into it, we described it as traffic, and it was traffic, mind you. It was not. It was chaos. In the beginning of that race, it was complete chaos.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what we wanted to see. But in the middle part to the end of the race, and even a little bit in the beginning of the race, it was brutally cold. Normally, when I'm there, we'll camp outside. We'll camp outside the track by like NASCAR turn 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And we did do that this year. We also normally that will be completely full. This year it was not full.
Really?
It surprisingly not full.
Why?
I think the weather. So I think
people
there
were
was
just too Floridian.
I think it was the weather, and that COVID messed up everything from last year. And actually, the tickets for this race I had bought 2 years prior to, because they refunded us or pushed the tickets back to the next event last year because of COVID. So either people forgot about their tickets.
Screw it.
Yes. Or they had their tickets and they saw the weather and said, I'm not coming anyway. Or I'm not at least camping.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair, because I heard it was, you said it's cold, but I heard it was like really properly cold. What was the temps while you were there?
It got down into the 20s.
Sheesh.
On race night, Saturday night, while they were still running, it was in the 20s.
That's actually as cold as it was in Montana during the day.
I believe it's the coldest Rolex that they've had in like 20 years.
Yeah, baby.
I've been to some cold events. I've been to worse weather Rolexes. This wasn't the worst weather, but it was the coldest.
So yeah, that is, I guess, the differentiator there
Right.
is you could have it 29 and sunny, like you had it, or you could have had it 46 and drizzle.
Mm-hmm. I've had 40 and rain. It's not fun.
That is just miserable.
No, that is absolutely miserable.
I'm with you. I would rather take the 29 and sunny than the 40 something and rain.
Yes.
That's just blah.
Yeah. And it was, for those in Celsius, it was like -2 degrees overnight.
Ooh, a negative number.
It was chilly.
So I'd imagine those forced inductions were loving that part, weren't they?
So it was good for the turbo cars, because that's what happens as the weather gets colder. We end up getting
That dense air.
Yep, that dense air, and that does produce more power for the engines, which is good for them. If you have one of the, I'm scrolling through a couple photos here, and if you have anything that you want to chat about, you let me know, because there's many good talking points about many good photos.
That Brumos Porsche. Oh, and I do like that it's on a Liftgekalt platform.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially a vintage Porsche event.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, Patrick Long is one of the founders of that. So the former factory Porsche driver founded that event, Liftgekalt.
I did not know that. That's cool. That is cool. So we did the normal, like, walk around in the pre-race ceremonies. We walked around the merch tents. Get your free shirt if you really want it that bad.
Did you not get any free shirts?
This year, I didn't even get a free shirt. Dude, this is my 10th plus Rolex.
You have to get a free shirt.
I have enough Corvette C8 whatever shirts. Okay, I have enough Hyundai shirts.
You need another Lexus shirt.
No, there's too many pajamas.
Maybe
in the
you could have
drawer.
got a BMW with the big nose on your shirt. You
Either
could have worn that proudly.
They didn't have any shirts of BMW. There's a good
Thank
reason
God.
for it.
The ugliest shirt known to man.
Yeah, there's a good reason for it. Yeah.
So you were wandering around through the merch tents?
We were wandering around through the merch tents, the usual. Nothing super, super interesting that I saw there. But, the good stuff. A couple of people that I was with bought... I wanted to buy a GTD Pro badge and put it on, like, the back of, like, a minivan or something. How awesome would that be?
Just like a random person's minivan?
No, like somebody I know. Like, if you had a minivan, I would have bought you a GTD Pro sticker and put it on the back of your minivan.
Yes. Yes. That's
awesome.
Fantastic.
Because that's like the class that is classy and would work for that kind of... If you had DPI, it wouldn't make sense.
No, because, it's a DP. It's a prototype.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So we did do the grid walk. We got around to the, iconic 24-hour sign. That's a classic. The grid was very good. There were 61 cars on the grid.
That's a big grid.
That's a big grid. that's a lot of race cars. There's a lot of GT cars in there. There's a lot of prototypes as well.
That's a big field.
We started the race up in the grandstands. We signed the start finish before we got up there.
Did you?
Cool. Yep.
What did you sign?
I signed my signature, baby.
You didn't sign We Are Auto?
No, I didn't.
Derek!
I should have. Oh. Man, see if you were there.
Opportunity wasted.
If you were there. The content was there, but I messed it up.
Next year.
Now, in the race, someone started leaving pit road backwards. I've never seen this in an event before.
Was it intentional?
No. They lost it going into basically coming out of the pits, and everybody has lost it coming out of the pits there.
Okay. As anyone who's ever ran this track on iRacing or in person, you know you've gotten squirrely on pit out. I'm pretty sure I've been in that wall every single time I've ran this track on iRacing at your house.
Right. But I've never seen them. I've seen someone lose it and then like spin it back around and go out the pits forward. They exited pit road to get off the pit lane speed limiter backwards. They went all the way down once they lost it backwards. And they didn't hit anything.
That's impressive. Honestly, that's some of the best car control I think I've ever seen.
It's awesome. It was great.
At that point, it's like you're committed. Just go backwards.
You were committed. The start of this race had some really interesting things go on. The overall start was solid, but there was one thing that I noticed that was very interesting, and it was that the LMP3, there was one LMP3, and this always happens every single year. There's one prototype that doesn't have an experienced enough driver in the beginning of the race, and they are just slow enough to hold up all the GT cars. So the leader of GTD Pro and Am, because they were kind of a mixed class anyway, basically were held up by, I think it was like the American flag LMP3.
Oh.
And for the whole first stint, it was like that. He was just every single corner contesting the GT car for position, and it was the GT class leader.
Race your own race. Get out of here. Oh, what
to be fair, like, he is racing, but
it does seem to be like that at least every time. There's always at least one of them that's just clogging up all the good GT traffic.
And I don't know why, but just that's what happens.
Just something.
So other than that, it went to kind of into the nighttime, and we got some really good photos of race cars with brake rotors.
You got some great photos.
Yeah. The new camera that I had was amazing. It got cold quick as that sun set.
Oh, I imagine as soon as that sun went down, it was freezing. Sheesh.
We did watch some fireworks in the grandstands. At 10 o'clock, they always have the fireworks, which was really cool. Conveniently, a caution came out right before the fireworks.
Oh, that's perfect.
2 minutes prior. Just long enough to grid everybody back up and let the drivers watch the fireworks.
I wonder if that was intentional.
I wonder that as well. I don't know.
So we're getting tired. We need a break. Okay, bin it.
It could be. But it was the normal chaos that we expected to see. In the first 6 hours of this race, it was just traffic.
Good.
Like, you're in Los Angeles at 5 o'clock. At least for a racing driver.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much.
For a professional racing driver, that's what it was like.
It's just bobbing and weaving and bobbing and weaving and bobbing and weaving. And oh my God, there's a P3 that's going slow.
And you had your incidents once in a while. But as we started getting later and later into the night, it became colder and colder and colder. And around, what was it, like around midnight or something, I did meet up with Anthony, who is also known as the Driver Mod on YouTube. It was very cool to meet up with him. We were watching around turn 2, which is the little kink area, and then you go down toward the International Horseshoe. And every car that came out of the pits basically slid off the track at the International Horseshoe.
It was just so cold.
Just no tire temp at all.
Driving on hockey pucks.
Yep, just no tire temp. And if they didn't drive off, they were immediately passed. If you're a prototype, you're getting passed by GT cars.
Ooh. I like this picture that you just put up. It's very good. It matches my hat that you gave me so much shit for at Sebring.
I did. Yes, the right motorsports Porsche.
Yes.
We'll talk about Porsche here in a bit.
Oh, we do have some Porsche news to talk about because what a scrap. Either way, I did when I eventually got back into town at the middle of the night, Saturday night, Sunday morning. I turned the race on in the middle of the night. And I was watching exactly what you just described. Every single car coming out of the pits sideways, backwards, inside out, upside down, all the different directions.
Yeah.
No one could hold it together.
Nope.
I mean, you're trailing brakes into every corner just to build up temp. It's just...
Almost trailing brakes on the straightaway to build temp. It's like that bad.
Yeah.
At least in the first lap. And I would assume that I think people were saying at least like 1, maybe 1.5 laps to get them properly up to temperature.
I thought I heard 2.
Yeah. It was bad.
That's not good, especially if you are fighting for position and you're a class leader. You're struggling.
So Anthony did have his Mustang out there. He actually parked it like right next to turn 2, which was pretty cool.
Sweet.
It was a great spot for it. And he also had a wristband on.
Did he?
And he showed me the wristband, and it said
in a corral?
Porsche Club of America.
Nice.
And I said, huh?
Oh boy,
That's a Mustang.
it's a funny looking Porsche.
So he did take his car and he parked it in the Porsche Corral.
Did he really?
He took his Mustang and parked it in the Porsche Corral.
Oh my god.
He found the wristband on the ground.
And that worked?
It worked. He said, I got many funny looks with my Porsche
God.
there.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. That is so funny.
Yes.
So, anytime you're looking for somewhere to park, look for a wristband on the ground, and we'll go park the BRZ and the GLI in the Corvette Corral. That's Sebring.
We would fit.
Could
right
you
in.
imagine? We just got to wear our jean shorts. We'll be good.
We have fit in with them before now.
Oh, yes, we have.
Yes, we have.
That is hilarious.
Yes. So after about 2 a.m., me taking all these darn photos, I went to sleep, and it was brutally cold. I had 4 jackets, 2 shirts, like beanies, every piece of warm clothing I brought to that race.
You need it.
Yep, just take the closet, throw it in the bag, and I'll sort it out when I get there.
Pretty much.
It was perfect. I was not even cold.
Did you have gloves?
I did have gloves. I had two layers of gloves with hand warmers in them.
God.
But you know what? I was the only one wandering around that track at 2 a.m. just warm as could be, baby.
Just toasty.
No
Meanwhile,
problem.
everyone else is freezing their nuts off.
No problem.
Yeesh.
There was at one point I was trying to go into the to watch the start, and you can go like wander around on the grid. You know how IMSA does their thing.
Yeah.
Right. You can, if the fans can go wander around the grid in the beginning of the race. We went and did that, but to get through the gate out there, I had to get my bag checked, and I had my monopod with me for taking pictures.
What's a
and
monopod?
They said it's like a instead of a tripod where you have 3
Oh,
legs
oh
coming
yeah,
down,
yeah, okay,
it's
yeah,
one,
it's just like
a straight
okay,
stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they said I couldn't bring that in. So I ended up taking that, throwing it under some sandbags that were holding a sign down, and came back like 10 hours later. It's still sitting right there. It was awesome.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Did you get it?
I did. And I took the photos that we're looking at here with that monopod.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Good move.
It was a
good move with tucking that monopod under some sandbags.
It was. So after, we finally got back to the daytime, I slept like a baby on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Even though it was brutally cold and I was tenting it. I just kept all my layers on and slept the whole night with all of them.
I bet.
We woke up to some dirty race cars. Not as many race cars.
Yeah.
But still darn good racing.
Yes, there was.
Yes, there was.
Some, actually, of the best racing we've seen in a while. Oh, you just put up a picture of the Pfaff Porsche coming down pit. Ooh.
It might be one of my favorite photos.
Actually a fantastic picture. Like,
Yeah.
in terms of artistic ability, that's beautiful, dude.
I know. I was shocked by this camera.
Dude,
and
nice.
we'll have some good images up on social soon for you guys to see if you're not watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
But let's talk about how this race finished.
Can we please?
Yeah.
Because I am eager to talk about how this race finished.
This race came down to the wire, came down to the last lap for 4 of the 5 classes.
Yes.
That's exactly what you want.
That is the whole reason we watch endurance racing.
24 hours, and it comes down to the last lap.
And it was close in the last lap, too.
761 laps completed in this event.
That's a lot of laps for it to come to literally the last lap.
That's not the most, but that's a lot.
What is the most, I've
seen it to like 8:30 before in the events that I've been.
That means no cautions, no nothing. Mm-hmm. You're just green racing for a while.
Oh, we knew we were getting cautions, though.
Oh, yeah. With this much traffic, of course you're getting cautions.
We knew we were getting cautions. But you want to talk about the finish, and you go ahead and talk about your GT classes, because I know you're stoked.
Oh, man. I am so stoked about these GT classes. Let's start with GTD, not GTD Pro, but GTD. Mm-hmm. That was a great race to watch as well. While the last lap wasn't quite as battlesome as the GTD Pro, the GTD class, I am super stoked because Wright Motorsports, Wright Racing, their Porsche, took the win.
They did take the win.
Which I am super happy for that team with Jan Halen, I believe Zach Robichon, and Ryan Hardwick.
And Richard Leitz.
And Richard Leitz, yep. Yeah, I forgot he's one of the ringers in there. Mm-hmm. Especially since last year, Ryan Hardwick, one of the drivers, he actually had a horrible crash at Daytona last year.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, was he the one that nicked the inside of the pit wall?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So to see him and his team come back and win the next year after that, that felt really good to see that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'm stoked to see the beautiful blue First Form Wright Motorsports Porsche take the win in GTD.
I'll find the photo of them, but
yeah, the photo will be coming shortly. Oh, there's one of them. Oh, that's a beautiful looking car. That's a good looking car. But can we talk about GTD Pro?
Yeah, this was spicy.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
How freaking exciting was this battle between the number 9 FAF Porsche and the number 2 KCMG Porsche?
Yep.
And they were battling pretty much bumper to bumper for the last hour.
Yeah.
I mean, they were within a tenth of a second for about an hour straight. Mm-hmm. I mean, tit for tat, a tenth of a second. Every corner, you're shaving a couple hundredths off.
Yep.
I mean, this was a huge contest. And oh boy, that last lap. Those last 2 laps especially.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was the second to last lap. The number 2 KCMG Porsche dove in. Where was it? Was it turn 1? Into turn 2 international and then international horseshoe, where the KCMG Porsche took the FAF Porsche, and then the KCMG Porsche led for a little bit, and then he got it back again, and then there were some battles. Then he didn't give up. Pardon me. So there was battles between the FAF Porsche and the KCMG Porsche, lap or two before, and then FAF held on to it. And they held on to it, and they got into a scrap, and they got a couple scraps, lost a couple of dive planes and canards and all that. And then on the last lap, the KCMG took him.
Yep.
Right? The number 2, the second place, took the first place. And it came down to like the last corner of the last lap of the last hour of the race.
You couldn't script it any better.
Oh my God, I was losing my mind.
Did you have that suspicion that they were both going to punt each other into the wall?
Yes.
And the Ferrari was going to come from third to win the race?
I was so scared of that. I
thought it was happening, dude.
Boys, you better play nice because you're about to go from a Porsche 1.2 to a Porsche 4.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Watch what they did into what's now called the Le Mans corner, I believe?
The Le Mans chicane.
Yes. So the Le Mans chicane. They had the KCMG Porsche was on the inside line, and then the FAF Porsche kind of snuck around outside, and then kind of just dove in. And there was a scrap, a touch, and then the KCMG Porsche driven by Lawrence Vantor spun. I don't know how the hell Matthew Gemini did not lose that Porsche.
I don't know.
That was... I'd love to see in-car of Matthew Gemini going through that. He's a wizard behind the wheel. How he didn't lose that other Porsche?
They were both sliding sideways through the grass into the bus stop, what is formerly known as the bus stop, which I'm always going to call the bus stop.
It's going to be called the bus stop forever.
Yeah. And it was amazing to watch. Just enough contact to know, like, it's really hard racing. Yeah. Not too much.
It wasn't like a blatant, like, just punt like the BMW did to the Porsche last year. Excuse me.
You got your win.
I'm just saying. Yes. But it was literally just door to door, rubbing his racing, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was the battle to watch. That was just
normally this
sublime.
Race comes down to a DPI battle, and this year it never did.
Not really, no. Yeah, not really this year.
Which I was shocked to hear and see, but I love that they focused the camera off the DPI.
There was a little bit of a DPI battle earlier,
right,
and then that fizzled, and then they went, wow, right, this GTD battle is, the GTD Pro is,
yes,
this is the ticket. Mm-hmm. And boy, was it the ticket. It was the most entertaining racing in a long time.
Yes. So who did take the win in Pro?
The number 9 Pfaff Porsche. Yeah, baby. And Matthew Gemini. That was so great to see that. And actually, you know who else was in there? Who was it? Why am I drawing a blank on the other driver that just joined with Pfaff Porsche? He was driving a DPI.
So there's Gemini, Felipe Nasr.
Felipe Nasr. That's who it is. Nasr's first year as GTD.
Ah,
that's right. He was driving DPI. Yeah. So his first year coming into a GTD, he wins.
That's cool. That is really cool.
Really, really cool.
Do you want to talk about the LMP3, LMP2s?
I'll let you talk about the prototypes.
Okay.
I honestly stopped watching prototypes when I was watching GT Daytona because that GTD Pro was just too good for me to even look away for a second.
In LMP3, which was a solid class, but not the class. It was the only class that did not have the cars both on the lead lap, battling for the end, which is kind of to be expected with that class because that has the biggest skill gap in the drivers.
Yeah.
The 74 Riley Motorsports Ligier did take the win for Felipe Fraga.
Fraga did win that, didn't they?
Yeah. Michael Cooper, Gar Robinson, and I don't even know how to say the last person here. I don't know how to say that one. Anyway,
Cavan Burlow, I think.
Congratulations.
Fair.
In LMP2, it was the Dragon Speed USA Orica LMP207, the 81 car.
Yeah.
Devin. I don't even know how to say. DiFrancesco.
Yes. I love that lineup too.
Yep. Patrick Award, which was pretty cool. Colton Herta, ex-IndyCar guy.
They're both IndyCar guys.
Yeah,
Pato Award.
Yeah, Pato Award and Colton Herta. And then Eric Lux. I don't know who that is.
Not familiar with that name.
Yeah. But then in DPI, did you see who won DPI? Overall?
I did, but I don't remember.
So in the beginning of this race, it was very, very tight as far as the Acuras versus the bigger Cadillac engines.
Yeah.
But as the cold set in, you could see the Acuras come on. And you could see the turbocharged engines really... That
little Acura.
Really kick in.
Yeah, it likes that cold, dense air.
Mm-hmm. And by the end of it, we do get 2 Acuras up front. The winning car is the number 60, the Myers-Shank Racing.
And then the other one's the Wayne Taylor, isn't it?
The Kana Minolta Wayne Taylor car. I thought Wayne Taylor was going to get a 4th or 5th in a row.
I was kind of expecting it.
Yeah. But it was not to be. And the number 60 car won, Tom Blomqvist, Helio Castroneves, another IndyCar guy.
Yeah.
Simon Pagano, another IndyCar guy.
Yep.
Oliver Jarvis, who didn't he run in the Corvettes last year?
I think he did, yeah.
I think he did. So cool to see with 761 laps.
I love to see these different names in different classes too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Felipe Nasr in the Pfaff Porsche.
Mm-hmm.
Never in a million years would I have said we're going to have Felipe Nasr racing a Porsche.
I know. Now, let's talk about some of the things that we talked about going into this event, which was that Corvette was yelling about BOP.
Which they were.
They were. They weren't, in my opinion, as fast as they probably should have been, but that's okay. BMW got absolutely hammered by POB. None of their cars did anything this race.
Well, it's because of that big nose.
Maybe.
How can you compensate BOP with a nose like that? I mean,
yes. Porsche definitely had the best BOP of all the cars out there.
You know what, though? And I'm going to sound like a fanboy. It's about damn time. Because for years, Porsche has been competitive in every race series around the world but IMSA.
I'd agree that they were competitive in IMSA. They just haven't had the luck fall their way.
Not so sure about that.
You're being a fanboy. It's okay.
I am, but still. You look at Porsche in the WEC. They were always 1, 2, maybe 3. Yeah. Did you watch Porsche GTLM last year?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Horrible.
Yeah. But I think it was like
And the year before.
Was it BOP that was the problem?
Yes.
They were smashing bits off the car.
No. That's BMW doing that too.
Yeah. The Corvette had problems in their mechanical bits, which was kind of interesting because they should have had that car nailed down. They won the championship last year with that car.
Yeah, they should. Well, maybe it's the new GTD retrofitting that was giving them problems.
Like we said earlier, though, like all they did was add some weight ballast and like a little tiny small adjustments here and there. It wasn't anything big.
Yes, yeah, true.
So in theory, the mechanical bits should all be the same.
In theory, yes.
I am curious to see though, is Porsche about to get the BOP hammer coming into Sebring?
Shut up.
I suspect yes.
Shut up. Shut the hell up. I hope they don't get the BMP hammer.
The mallet's coming down, baby.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Yes, because Corvette will pay enough money and then it'll come down.
They will. They certainly will.
Corvette.
Overall, a great race, though.
Yeah, fantastic to watch. The battles were great.
Mm-hmm.
Just fantastic racing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a race fan, you missed out on at least watching it.
Yes. And, yeah, I will definitely be back next year. Hopefully you can come.
Yeah, it's fingers crossed, yes.
And are we going to Sebring?
I would like to, yeah. Would you like to?
Yeah.
All right, Sebring, here we come.
Sweet.
Let's go. So actually, let's continue on the theme of some IMSA and some GT3 racing for a moment.
Okay.
So you know how you and I both love the variety of the GTD field in general, right? The Porsche, the Corvette, the Lamborghini, the McLaren, the BMW, all of the manufacturers, right?
Yep.
How about another?
Okay. Bring it on.
Ford.
What?
Yeah, baby.
That's not who I was thinking of, but okay.
No, it's not who most people
I was thinking Italian, maybe British.
Nah, it's kind of where I was thinking, right? Maybe Bentley, maybe
Ford?
Something.
They have
Ford.
a Mustang.
Well, they have a Mustang in GT4.
Yeah, in GT4.
They're doing a GT3 spec race car Mustang. I am freaking stoked about this. So now I've got two dogs in the fight against Corvette.
Oh my gosh. Of course.
Yes. Now my Patriot flag can fly proudly with Ford GT.
I'm excited.
Or GT3, I should say, pardon me.
But slightly confused.
Are you?
Yes. Why would they not get into DPI right now? Or LMDH?
I have to agree.
Yeah. Like, I'm excited to see a Mustang in GT3 class racing because it's just more variety in the class. But now is the time. Right now would be the perfect time to announce that you have an LMDH program.
I wish they would do an LMDH program and the GT3 program.
I agree, but I bet you that they had to choose.
Yeah. Maybe they chose based upon the soundtrack that they can bring to racing.
Why can you not have your LMDH be a rumbly V8?
Because I don't know. Good question. Either way, speaking of rumbly V8s, that's what's going into the Mustang. Yes, right. They're not doing like the Corvette C8R. That does not sound like a Corvette.
No.
You and I, we've talked about this many times. Listening to the C8R go by and just goes, it sounds good. It just doesn't sound like what we expect.
No.
I think that noise that you and I expect is coming back to GT racing, though.
I hope so.
Because they are going to be basing this on the 5-liter Coyote Mustang engine. That is actually not the engine that's in the Shelby GT350.
It's not.
The Shelby GT350 is the Voodoo V8, which revs a little higher. This is the Coyote V8.
What's the Coyote in?
That's the standard Mustang, the Mustang GT.
It's
GT. Got a deeper rumble.
Perfect.
So that, I think the sound that you and I have been missing a lot in the GT field is coming back.
Yes.
I am stoked for this soundtrack to come back.
I am stoked as well, and like more variety the better.
Yeah, and they're going to be also building a new GT. They're like doing a new GT4 spec car too. But
they will be, okay.
Yes, they're set to compete at Daytona with this GT3 Mustang in 2024. So in 2 years.
Okay. So the year after all the LMDH stuff.
They may have just missed the cutoff too.
They may have.
They may have been like late to the party and like, hey, we want to do an LMDH. They're like, yo, brother, you missed that like a year ago.
So if they had announced an LMDH, what would be your first thought? Like,
sweet, let's go.
Would it not be like Ford? Huh?
Kind of prototype? Really. Well, yes, but no. Think back to the Ford GT.
I think back to the Cadillac DPI, and I'm like, Cadillac? A prototype? What?
Well, yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
It's odd, but awesome.
Right.
Either way, we're getting a GT3 spec Mustang, and it's coming for 2024 Daytona.
It'll be cool. And I know friends that are absolutely pumped about it because one of the guys that I was at the race with, he was like, I'm getting me a flag. This is going to be amazing. Fantastic.
Was Anthony saying that too?
Yeah, I didn't ask Anthony. I should.
Oh, you should have, because I'm sure.
Yes.
Him being a Shelby owner, I'm sure he would.
But the buddy that was stoked does have a Mustang GT.
Does he?
Yes.
Good.
And he said, I'm going to get to drive it soon. So, yeah, should be fun.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, so more IMSA news. I know we're not done with IMSA yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of racing.
There's just this week is just pure racing.
This is normally how this goes, though. They hold all of their press to come out at the Rolex 24 week.
Yeah,
yeah,
true. So let's talk about some more IMSA.
Okay.
IMSA has acquired a race series that I hold near and dear to my heart. HSR, the Historic Sports Car Racing.
Okay. Give me your thoughts first, and then I'll give you mine.
Oh, okay. So I have a big soft spot for HSR. You and I, we've been to an HSR.
We have been to a
I've been to
HSR event.
Many of them as a kid. My dad raced HSR for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about HSR being acquired by IMSA. I almost wonder if it's going to take away the access that you get with HSR. Because with HSR, which stands for Historic Sports Car Racing, you can wander way more accessible into pretty much anyone's garage and just talk to anyone.
Yeah, you can.
Like it's
just extremely open.
Yeah, you just wander in and you start asking questions about cars and drivers and setups and everything, and you can. And it's welcomed and it's cheap, right? It's not like $1,000 ticket. It's like they were like $25 or something like that.
Dirt cheap.
And it's good racing.
Yeah. And
you get to see historic stuff that you don't ever think you'd see. Like Porsche 917s. You could see like a Mark 1 Ford GT.
Yep.
Lamborghini Aventador GT cars. Like everything that comes out. Panos.
Yep.
Stuff that you won't ever see again.
We saw a Peugeot that ran in the 24 at Le Mans. We saw a C8 or C6 Corvette.
C6R, yeah.
That also ran at Le Mans, I believe, and like 12 Hours of Sebring and Daytona.
There's so many cool things that you just don't. Lola's, like, I'm not sure if I think this is a good thing or not.
All right, let me give you my take. I think this is perfect for them.
Do you?
Yeah. Because they need the crowd, and what is IMSA very good at? You know who owns IMSA? NASCAR. What is NASCAR very good at?
Putting racetracks on football fields.
That was a good one. No, NASCAR is very good at marketing. That's what NASCAR is good at.
It's true.
You know what HSR is not good at? Marketing. You know damn well they're bad at marketing.
They're not well known
no.
for their social presence.
No, not at all. So I think that the blending of these two will be good. Now, the implementation of it has to be correct.
It's got to be spot
on. And that's
on.
what I'm worried about. I know that IMSA will sort out their marketing woes. That's not a problem. What I worry about is what you're talking about is is going to become too
corporate,
closed off to the fans. And how
that's the whole point of HSR.
Right. And how they do this will be very interesting. If they bring the HSR cars to like the Rolex 24 and Sebring and all those and have them run before the main event, that will generate press and people to like be interested in it. But what I worry is you're not going to have enough old cars to do that. I don't think when you go to Laguna Seca, you're going to have enough people that are going to be willing to take
HSR already races around the country.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong then.
Honestly, I don't think that'd be a problem.
Really?
Yeah.
If they can pull the turnout, then I think if they do this before their events, it's a great idea because they do it every single year at the Rolex 24. They have a heritage event or a heritage race, and they show some old cars on track, and they're always awesome. And they always get the fans riled up, and you get to see race cars on track. They let them race for like 30 minutes too.
30 minutes to an hour, yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome. So, I'm a fan.
I'm up for opinion still.
We'll see how they actually implement it.
When they do the classic 12 Hours of Sebring, I'll be curious to see how this goes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be the first real race. Well, not the first. No, because that's at the end of the year. one of the next races, I'll be curious to see how it goes with HSR.
I suspect that this year's not going to go well. And next year, the kinks will be worked out. And it will be good for the fans, good for HSR, and like good overall for everybody.
Fair.
But we'll see.
Little fingers crossed. Because I don't want HSR to go away.
No, I don't either. No, nobody does. And I don't think IMSA will do a bad job with it. When they ate up ALMS, they did a solid job with it. They didn't get rid of the GTLM class. They kept the prototypes around. Like, they've done a pretty good job.
I miss ALMS.
I know. I do too. Grand Am.
Yeah.
When they combined, they did a pretty solid job with what they were given. We'll see how they do with HSR. But I suspect it will be good.
Fair.
Yes. So, do you, as you were out on your trip, you're in the snow, I imagine. I saw some photos of some cool stuff in the snow.
Yeah.
Did you see any snow-worthy vehicles?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we were in a snow-worthy vehicle.
What was that?
We rented, well, they upgraded us to a Audi Q5.
Okay.
So a small to mid-size SUV. Which has Audi's legendary Quattro all-wheel drive system.
For the snow.
Yes. Honestly, my take on the Audi Q5.
Did you get to drive it?
Just very briefly.
Okay.
Just very briefly. The Audi Q5, it is a good car. The gearbox in the transmission, like the actual the shifter, feels weird and clunky. You don't know if you're actually in the correct gear.
Oh.
Like it's just weird. I'm not really a fan of at least the shifter, I should say. But honestly, it handled snow beautifully. We kind of went up and down some mountain roads that I was not expecting a stock Audi Q5 on what actually were not even snow tires. They were just simply all seasons.
Ooh.
And I was like, damn, this is freaking impressive.
With mountainous terrain.
Yeah, and we were up, down, steep, sharp angle. Like, I was like, damn, put it in the off-road setting, and this thing was just chugging right up the mountain. I was like, okay.
Sweet.
Actually,
heck yeah.
You know what? For some kind of crappy tires,
right?
This Audi Quattro, this thing can scoot. But my stepmom made a very great comment about the dash.
Okay.
So, your BRZ, it has good old-fashioned analog dashes, doesn't it?
It does.
So dials with a needle that goes zzz,
yes.
Right? So the new Audi has a digital dash. Do you like a digital dash? Yes or no?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a nerd.
What's that?
I'm a nerd.
Okay, I asked the wrong person. I completely just asked the entire wrong person here. But it has a digital dash that I'm not so sure I'm a huge fan of. And neither is pretty much anyone that was in the car, including my stepmom. My stepmom drove it for a brief moment, and she immediately drove it and was like, I don't like the dash. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's like a cartoon. Is that not the best description for a digital dash you've ever heard?
It's like a cartoon.
Yep.
I would assume that's because of all the screens and whatnot. And yeah.
Well, I don't like that it's like a downshift, you see a tack go, "Argh," instead of it just populating. Boop, it's there. I don't like that.
So you want to see...
I want to see...
You want to see the motion?
Yes. Yes.
What if the engine revs so fast you can't see the motion?
I'm pretty sure it's not in an Audi Q5. I'm pretty sure it's like a 4-cylinder turbo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
What I do like about a digital dash, though, is you have the freedom to, in theory, with software, set up the dashboard any way you want.
But I don't want to. I don't want to customize things.
It's because you're a dinosaur.
But why do I want to customize my dash?
Because
why do I need to change the font on my phone and stuff?
To give you the ability to do whatever you want.
But I already do whatever I want with it, which is answer phone calls and look at cars.
You can actually drive on the surface of Mars in a Tesla.
That's great.
You can change the maps to Mars. Like, that's the kind of freedom you would get.
But why do I want to do that?
For silly, fun stuff.
Why would silly, fun stuff is putting McDonald's plastic trays into your back tires and holding your handbrake while you do donuts in a parking lot.
Exactly. That's the same as having a cartoony dashboard.
No, it's not.
Kind of.
Either way, I'm not a fan of the cartoony dashboard.
Okay. I'm the fan of I wish that they had other settings where you could select. Do you want the cartoony dashboard? Do you want the serious I'm a German and this must be perfect dashboard? Or do you want the American NASCAR dashboard?
I want the American NASCAR dashboard.
Okay, well, with the screen...
With one dial, where if it's not working, I tap it a couple of times, and then all of a sudden it magically works and I have oil pressure again.
I see what you're saying.
Yes.
That'd be awesome. But with the screen, you could have all of them.
Sure, but I don't want. I just no. I don't want to. I don't want to leave the good old days. Either way, the brief quick review of the Audi Q5 is impressive in snow. Don't like the gear shifter, and I wish it had analog gauges. And that's my unbiased review.
Your dinosaur review of the Audi Q5. Okay.
But while I was out there, I did see something else that's kind of cool. That was a spot that I'm going to say.
Okay.
I'm going to call it. And it was a heavily modified Land Rover Defender.
Okay.
Designed for the mountains.
Yes.
It was lifted.
Yes.
Big mud terrain tires. This thing looked like it was ready to go climb a mountain.
Perfect.
I was like, you know what? That is, if it ever doesn't break down, that is a brilliant car.
Yeah, perfect for that climate.
Oh, it's excellent. I loved it. It'd have been better if it was a Toyota because then it would actually run. But yes, fantastic. You never see a Land Rover properly done up like that.
No, not here.
Especially not here, I should say. But Land Rovers are always bought historically by soccer moms.
Yes.
This is a good old boy in the mountains.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Big tires.
Beautiful.
Probably a little lifted.
Oh, it was, yes.
Yeah.
It was lifted, big tires, skid
it should
plate, body armor, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. So that's one of my spots.
Okay.
Now, since I've been home, I did spot a couple other things.
Wait, let me ask you one thing, though.
Yeah?
Did you spot any EVs while you were out there?
Actually, I don't think I saw literally a single Tesla. Like, I actually...
Any EVs at all?
I don't... I'm trying to think back. I don't think I saw... Maybe there was one at, like, the airport, and that was it. Maybe. And I'm stretching hard here. I would say 94% of all vehicles were trucks.
Oh, 94%.
Trucks or SUVs.
That's a lot of trucks.
I love it.
What was the majority? Was it a Ford? Was it Dodge? Was it
Honestly,
mix?
it was pretty good mix.
Okay.
I did see a number of Dodge Ram TRXs. So
really?
The people that have made it pretty good out there, they went and stocked up on some TRXs. I saw some TRXs pulling snowmobiles.
Oh.
Like, that, does that not just scream me?
The dream.
Like, does that not just scream me?
Oh, yeah.
I want to move to Montana so bad. God damn, I want a snowmobile, and I want to move to Montana with a T-Rex. And I would drive a Porsche in the snow just because I can.
I think I could give you a plane ticket to anywhere and be like, I want to move there.
No, not California.
I know. Okay. All right. Certain spot. Anywhere that's wildernessy.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
But then I got home, and I did start seeing things on the road here.
Okay.
One thing I saw that kind of made me kind of wonder was a Ferrari 599.
The 599.
Do you know the last time you saw a Ferrari 599? It's not new.
What's a 599?
It's a front-engined, it's kind of the predecessor to like the F12.
Oh, okay.
I saw a 599, and I thought, you know, that car now looks kind of old.
Yeah. I do agree. It looks kind of old. What does it remind? What's like the modern car that
the 812 Superfast?
Okay.
Is its successor's successor.
Okay.
There's a 599, then the F12, and now the 812.
This car looks. It's 2000 what?
That's something I don't know.
I think they made them in like 2011 is what I was seeing.
Something like that, yeah. And I saw it and I was like, that's a good spot because they're rare, but it doesn't. I don't know if it aged particularly.
Production from 2006 to 2012. So yeah, probably.
So it's 10 years old now.
It's 10 years old. Do you think it's aged more than 10 years? Looking at it?
I'd say it's a 15-year-old car.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's like a 15 to 20-year-old car.
Yeah.
An interesting spot.
Yeah, that was one of my spots. It's a cool spot, nonetheless.
Yeah.
But are you ready for my spot of the week?
Sure.
I'm about to blow your mind.
Okay.
You ready? This is going to compete. This with like the quality of the Pagani, the Bugatti.
I was about to say, are we going top shelf?
We are.
Okay.
You ready for this? It is my spot of the week, a wood-paneled PT Cruiser. Let's go.
What? No. I mean, sure, but no.
When's the last time you saw a wood-paneled PT Cruiser?
I don't know.
Is that not the worst thing in the world?
They're awful.
A PT Cruiser, hunk of junk. 1. But slap some wood on this bad boy. Oh, yes. Wood-paneled PT Cruiser is my spot of the week.
All right, let me pose the question.
Okay.
Who buys a wood panel PT Cruiser?
That's a good question. I don't even know how to describe them.
I don't either.
Are they? I don't even know how to describe them. But it looked just like what you're seeing on the screen here. For those on audio only, we're looking at a beautiful picture of a maroon PT Cruiser with chrome wheels and some pristine 2x4s slapped on the side of it.
Do you know if it's like a wrap or is it real? It can't be real wood. There's no way.
I'm sure it's not.
It's got to be a wrap. Just looking at the filler cap there, it's a wrap.
There's no way that's real wood.
Yeah.
But yes, that's my spot.
Pure class. That's what I call that.
Oh yeah. Oh, we only can aspire to be the class of driver of a wood-paneled PT Cruiser. It's beautiful.
Never again can you tell me you have top shelf car spots and hit me with a PT Cruiser.
Okay, fair enough. So have you spotted anything?
Oh man, there was plenty to spot
Was there?
I was at the race. Yeah.
I'm
You're
sure.
at a race. It's just
Car enthusiasts are coming out. That's where they go.
they come out of the woodwork from the PT Cruiser.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
I see what you did there.
Yes. So you know how there's normally like a shuttle for the VIPs at races?
Yeah.
Yeah, this time it was a fleet, probably like 20 Lamborghini Uruses.
What were they again?
Uruses.
Were they fleeting the Lexus's drivers?
Yes, they were.
In the Uruses.
The Lamborghini Urus, there was just Lamborghinis everywhere.
Wow, that's a lot of Lamborghini Uruses.
And they all said IMSA shuttle on the side of it.
they actually said
They said they had the sticker.
So
on
it
the
wasn't
side.
just like an idea that they were shuttling. No, it's like genuinely publicized that this is their shuttle.
Yes.
Is that a good look for IMSA though?
I don't know. That's what I'm questioning.
I don't know about that. That seems a little.
You're at a car event, like a proper car event, but a Lamborghini SUV for the shuttle vehicle?
Why wouldn't you just get, if you want a shuttle vehicle, a Porsche Cayenne? That's a little bit more understated than a Urus.
Audi SUVs,
Yeah.
Mercedes SUVs,
Cadillac SUVs.
Right. A Lamborghini?
That's a little bit
It's bold.
too much, too flashy
I'm
for an IMSA branded shuttle.
I'm sure the passengers enjoyed it.
No, I'm sure that.
And
Sure they did.
when you're living the luxury, I guess that's what you get. But yeah, that was an interesting one and an interesting look for IMSA.
Yeah.
But something I also spotted, we were making a Target run.
Yeah.
You need, the goodies that you forget at the race because you forget things.
Yes.
You need some batteries, some gloves, some socks, yada, yada.
Especially for the people that were cold.
As we were pulling up to Target, there was a yellow Lamborghini Gallardo, and I believe it was the race car.
Oh, yes.
In the parking lot.
Yes. That Gallardo, like Super Trofeo race car?
Yes. And it was a
Yes.
straight up race car.
Yes.
I did like a quadruple take. I was like, is that, wait, that's a race car. That's not like a street car. That's a proper GT3 race car.
Yeah, no, it's GT3 spec race car.
I was really shocked and confused because it was sitting in the parking lot of Target, which is across the street from the racetrack.
So if it's the yellow one,
Mm-hmm.
that's been around social a lot, and I've actually chatted with the owner briefly on social a couple times. That is actually a street legal race car.
What?
One of the very few true street legal race cars.
Oh.
And it used to be based out of Pokey Little, Sarasota, Florida here.
Huh.
So the shop Wren House, or Corsa 7, right here in Sarasota,
Mm-hmm.
they had this car
Oh.
for many years. I've seen this car at like our Cars and Coffees a bunch of times.
I have yet to see it.
It doesn't live in Sarasota anymore,
Okay.
but now it lives up in Jacksonville. That car used to live here in Sarasota, Florida.
Okay.
And I've seen it, and I've actually put my coffee on its wing. Because they were like serving coffee off the wing
Right.
and stuff. Yeah.
That's cool.
Like legit. That is a real race car with number plates legally.
You can do that?
No.
Oh.
Well, you could at one point. So I was talking with some of the guys at the shop one time, and I was asking them, like, how the hell did you register a race car? Because it is just a race car. It's got a cage. It's got a single seat. It's got there's no airbags. It is an actual proper GT3 spec race car.
Normally, I believe race cars don't have a VIN.
Correct.
And that's why you can't make them street legal.
There's
probably other reasons.
That's part of why, but yes.
Right.
This car does.
It has a VIN?
So when I was talking to the guys at the shop, I said, how did you even do this? And they explained to me that when Lamborghini first started offering like customer race cars, like,
right.
Privateer teams, you could go to Lamborghini and say, yes, I'd like to buy a race car to go race in the Super Trofeo series. And they would provide you with one.
Mm-hmm.
When they first started doing that back with the Gallardo, what Lamborghini was doing was they were just taking a good old-fashioned Gallardo off the shelf, converting it to a race car, and that good old-fashioned Gallardo that they took off the shelf already had a VIN number on it. So by the time it got to the customer's hand, you had a race car that had a proper VIN.
Okay.
And living in this great, beautiful state of Florida, where anything is street legal if it's got a VIN, the shop pretty much sent in the paperwork and was like, hey, we're going to try to register this. We're just going to see if it comes back at the plate. And wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It's a registered race car.
Whoa.
Yeah. How sick is that?
That's really cool.
It's freaking cool as hell. And it's legal to drive to the shops and to Target, like you saw.
I had to do the quadruple take. I thought someone actually took like a spec GT3 Lambo from the garages of Daytona, decided they want some coffee or something from Target, and took it out to Target.
They could have. That's a car that could have raced. Not this year, but it could have.
That's crazy.
And I think it actually has raced.
That's crazy.
Proper races. Yeah.
It was super cool to spot.
Isn't it so cool to see that thing? I love that car, too, because it's a race car with a number plate on it.
And we have a photo. This is what I saw when I was wandering around the Rolex, which is two of them. One I think was one of them's a Gallardo and one of them's a Huracan.
Yeah, the one on the left with all the multicolor, that's the Huracan.
Okay.
And the yellow one on the right is the Gallardo.
Yeah, the Gallardo's the one that I saw, because they both, I believe, have number plates on them.
No, only the one on the right, the Gallardo, is street legal.
Okay. But he just brings these around. That's crazy. Yeah. That's awesome.
And he drives it around. I aspire to be that.
Yeah.
Like, I aspire to be, let me just drive my race car to Starbucks because I want a cup of coffee this morning. And I'll have to open the little cat flap because you don't have a window.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
How freaking cool is that?
That is absolutely wild and awesome.
Love that spot.
Yeah, so that was a super cool spot that I saw. While I was at the racetrack, there was a variety of cool cars.
I'm sure.
But I saw one particular one that was a Porsche.
Oh, a Porsche.
And I'm sure that you can tell me about this one.
I can, yes.
So this was as I was leaving the track, actually.
Yes, we are looking now at a picture of a Porsche 911 GT3, but a 991.1 generation.
And what caught my eye about this was the color. In my opinion's kind of ugly. I think it's like a puke green, but that's just me.
It's not green. It's gray.
It's green.
So do you all remember back when there was that trend going around of like the dress? Is it blue or gold or something like that? This is our version, and it's gray.
No, it's like an ugly green. Anyway, it's not that caught my eye. It was the mirrors that caught my eye.
Oh, some mirrors. That's such a random thing to catch your eye to.
It is. But take a look at this mirror. Is this carbon?
That's not factory.
Or is this flaky something or another?
So that looks like some sort of a wrap of like forged carbon.
Oh, okay.
So that looks like what they put on the wing of the Lamborghini Huracan Performante.
Okay.
So it's that like swirled carbon.
Yeah, I was wondering if this was factory or not, because I've never seen one like this before.
Porsche does not offer forged carbon like that on their cars.
Why not? Just don't want to yet? Probably something like that.
I don't know if there's a real reason for it other than the fact that it looks cool.
Okay. Interesting. So it's just a wrap of something.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. It was a cool spot nonetheless, and it was prime position right as you were leaving the track. It was just sitting perfectly right there.
It does look cool.
Yeah, it looks very cool. But that is not my final spot.
What's your final spot? Your spot of the week?
Oh, I got a good one for you, my man.
Oh boy.
Top tier gold. Not quite Bugatti gold, but top tier. I'm telling you, I spotted me this.
Oh my god, that's great.
This is a Gulf livery with the orange and the blue, and it is a beat up old Ford Explorer, baby.
Oh my god.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
That is brilliant. In every sense of the word.
Talk about...
Even the roof rack is painted orange.
Oh, it was amazing. Look at the lines that they drew on it.
That's great.
Yeah.
A Gulf liveried Ford Exploder.
Exactly. And it looks like the V8 down there.
Yep.
I mean, you can't get any better.
Look at this.
It won't last for crap, but that's perfect.
This is so horribly fantastic that I can't not love this.
There were tons of Lamborghinis and Aston Martins and Ferraris and Porsches and yada yada.
Yeah.
But we've seen enough of those. What we don't see is a Gulf liveried, probably like 2005 Ford Explorer, baby.
99, baby.
99.
I think it's a 90s Ford Explorer. Yes, son.
The character that
Let's
they have
go.
is amazing.
I would love to have a beer with these owners.
I would too. And you know that they like racing.
Because you're not putting a Gulf livery on something
No.
if you don't even know what a Gulf livery is.
No. They like sports car racing specifically because
Yes.
it's a Gulf livery.
And they like Porsches. Or Fords.
Yeah.
Because Ford GT, right?
Either or. But I love this. Would you what would someone that's not into racing think about this car?
They think it's the stupidest thing in the world.
Probably. Just ugly orange and blue.
Yeah, they'd be like, why? Are you a Florida Gators fan? Like, but not really, because it's not the right orange, not the right blue.
Right. But to us gearheads, this is like...
We see this, we're like, this is beautiful. It's so perfect. And now, would you Gulf livery anything else?
Anything?
What else would you put a Gulf livery on?
I mean, I'd put a Gulf livery on anything that's...
Would you put it on my Volkswagen?
Yeah. Would you?
I can't say that I would.
All right, let me ask this question. Is there anything special about the paint on your Volkswagen?
It's shiny.
Whoop-de-doo.
No.
Okay, then Gulf it. Like, if there's not anything unique about it or special about it,
all right, so
if
then
it's not paint to sample.
How about this? I'll start taking donations for a Gulf livery wrap on my Volkswagen.
I think that you should Gulf livery the vehicles you use to teach people in. The Corollas and Civics and yeah.
Oh, yes, please. Dear God, can we do that?
Yeah.
Oh, man, we could do a motorsports theme.
Mm-hmm.
Golf livery on one, Pink Pig on the other, Martini Racing
The
livery on the next.
Tricolo on one.
Yeah. Oh, man, this is fun. Oh,
Yeah.
phew.
That'd be awesome.
Now we have to do this. Now we just have to do Golf liveries on everything.
Yeah. I think Gulf livery on anything. Does it work on everything?
I'm going to Golf livery my cat.
Okay. Maybe it doesn't work on everything. Any car, though, if it doesn't have any unique paint about it, I think you could Gulf livery it.
I think you probably could.
I think so.
You could pull it off to other car people.
Yes. To most
Racing
people,
enthusiasts.
it would be terrible.
Yeah, it'd be the stupidest thing they've ever seen.
But that's okay.
It's fantastic.
Whatever. I don't care.
I can't wait to put this up on social. This is the best spot I think I've ever seen.
This is up there with the Bugattis.
Oh, 100%. It's a piece of crap. But it's a Golf livery Ford Explorer.
There's no more character.
I love it.
Yeah.
God, I love it.
All right. Do you have the final segment here? And I wish they would have for us.
I do. You ready?
I am more than ready.
My I wish they would have has to do with one of your car spots.
Okay.
My I wish they would have is that I wish that you would be able to tag and title race cars.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Because if I could, I would tag and title a GT3 Cup car right away. 100%.
There are some
A
race
DPI.
cars.
Let's tag and title it.
No. There are some race cars that would work and a lot of race cars that wouldn't.
Formula One.
No.
Tag and title this baby.
No. Probably any. Oh, you know what would be an amazing one? A Mazda Cup. an MX-5 Cup car.
But that's already not far off of a rig.
It's not, dude. I think that they take those cars and they add they remove, I think the number was 250 parts, add another 250 parts in, and it's done. It's not much.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like back when Panos was big. I know you could buy Panos, but I want to buy Panos street legal race car.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
How freaking sweet would that be?
That'd be cool. Because that's a heavy enough GT car that it wouldn't be terrible.
Or like a TCR car.
Ooh, yeah.
Tag and title a GTI TCR.
Right.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Cool. Yeah. That'd be cool as hell.
The Audi as well. That'd be cool.
Yeah, like the Audi, the Gino race.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be neat. Gino was at the race.
I heard. I think he race in the pilot challenge.
He did
before.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know how he did.
I don't remember where they finished, but I think they started.
I think they had some issues. Some issues.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it was still cool to hear his name on the broadcast. That he was
it's like, hey, we know him.
Yeah. It's neat.
So yeah, that's my wish they would have. I wish you could tag and title race cars, because who doesn't want a street legal race car like the Gallardo you saw?
Like I said, it would work for some cars, not work for a lot of cars, but it would be awesome to see nonetheless.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, do you have an I wish they would have?
I do.
What you got?
This comes from the world of the EV land.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But it could be relevant to you. Yeah. So, have you ever had to change a battery in your car?
Yeah.
Is it not the heaviest thing in the world? Like, what is it made of? Why is it so heavy? Is it just pure iron in there?
It is freaking so heavy.
I don't know why.
Throw your back out, just pulling your battery out.
So I wish that they would use, instead of, I believe that they're, what are they, lead acid batteries is what they normally use in a car? I think that's what it is. I wish that they would use lithium ion batteries.
Why?
Do you know what has a lithium ion battery in it?
A phone?
Your phone. Do you know what's fairly light? Fairly easy to use? Pretty rechargeable? Goes quick? Your phone.
Fair. But I know you can top up some of the batteries.
With liquid, with water? Yeah.
You can't do that with lithium ion, can you?
No. You would never need to.
Why would you never need to?
Because the lead acid battery has a fluid in it, an electrolyte fluid in it, that you need to actually top up. Have you ever had to pour water on your phone for battery purposes?
Thank you for specifying. Not for battery purposes, no.
Yeah, no. I don't think you would need to. Now, the new Tesla Model S Plaid, because it's an EV, already has a massive battery, and there are lithium-ion batteries in there. They actually have a tiny small battery off to the side that's in the frunk area, but you would have to actually undo all the frunk stuff, the plastic bits around it. And they actually have a little lithium-ion battery. It's bigger than the battery, or it's not as big as the battery you have in your car right now, like a normal internal combustion car, but it's bigger than my cell phone by a long shot. And it's not nearly...
a book.
A heavy, or a
couple of books.
Yeah, a couple of books. It's about the right size. And it's way lighter because it is lithium ion. And all it does is turn the car on electronically. It doesn't have to turn over an engine. And I think that we're going to see that in the future. We're going to see lithium ion batteries are going to be the batteries of choice for EVs, which is kind of cool and kind of interesting. Now, I wish that we could put lithium ion batteries in an internal combustion engine.
Make it lighter.
Yeah. Now, I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon.
Why?
Because lithium ion is really good at trickling charge. But when you start an engine,
you need a big boost
you need a ton of power now, and just for a split second, just to run the starter, basically.
Yeah.
I believe that it is you get 1/10 of the amount of energy in a split second than you get with a big lead acid battery.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's why it works on EVs and it doesn't work in internal combustion. But
it doesn't have an entire engine to crank.
Right. You just have to electronically start the car, which is not hard to do. It's just a little bit of trickle power around to run the circuitry. I do wish that they could make batteries lighter, because they are dumb heavy.
They are.
I don't know why.
And it would make the performance even better, too.
It would.
Power to weight, all the things, right?
Yep. So
that is a good I wish they would have.
Mm-hmm. I wish they would make them lighter. I wish they could do it lithium ion, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
That's fair. So then, do you have anything else for episode 49, Derek?
I do not. We're coming up on 50, though.
We are coming up on 50. That's almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. So that's going to wrap us up for episode 49. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up and drop a comment, and also subscribe to us. We'd be so grateful for that. If you're listening on audio, so Apple, Spotify, anywhere else you might be listening, make sure you leave us a 5-star rating and drop a review or a comment. Also, go ahead and send us your I Wish They Would'ves or any other auto-related news that you'd like to hear us chat about over via our social. Facebook is We Are Auto, Instagram is We Are Auto _, YouTube is We Are Auto, and TikTok, which I have not posted on forever, is We Are Auto. So again, thank you so much, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.